yet it is alert. Inside, once it awakes, mind is not functioning, it's not active, but the awareness is clear. This clarity of awareness is pure consciousness or pure awareness. As long as the thinking mind is experiencing a thought, so long the mind is a thinker, and the thought becomes finer and finer, and then the thinker becomes more and more alert in order to experience the finer thought, and then the thought becomes finer and finer and becomes finer. And when the thought drops off, thinker remains all by himself, and this is self-realization. This state of pure consciousness is realization of the self. It's also called self-awareness. Here, the self is not aware of anything else. It was aware of the thought, and now the thought has dropped off. The self remains all by itself. It is aware of itself. It is self-awareness or self-consciousness. This is self-realization. What I have to do to realize myself, I have only to stop realizing things from within and see that I don't go to sleep. Otherwise, the daily experience is that when I am close to outer experience, then I go to sleep. This is the daily experience. If I go out of all this experience and don't fall into the inertia of sleep, then I'll be awake in myself. And when I am awake in myself, this is self-realization or self-consciousness of the state of being. This is how to be. When we are active, we are active, we are active, we are active. How to be? Stop being active, but don't become passive. This is how to be. The technique to be is stop acting, but don't go to sleep. Just be pure awareness, and this is self-realization. But how then to be it? Maybe unless. Self-realization has been declared to be a difficult thing. It's surprising to a rational mind, difficult to myself. A rational mind finds it difficult to believe that self-realization can be difficult. If I can be difficult to myself, then only self-realization can be difficult. But I can't be difficult to myself because I am myself. The whole story of self-realization has been built up without foundation. Self-realization is the simplest thing that one could accomplish in life. I'm not responsible for the theory of those writers who have been writing that it is realize the first. And then only anything else can possibly be realized. A student of physics, he says, I'm studying physics. Who is studying physics? The answer is milk. The whole field of knowledge is baseless. The basis of all the field of knowledge is language, the means of communication, language. The basis of language is the knowledge of the alphabet. Now, alphabet A, B, C, D, fine. What is the basis of the alphabet? The answer is nil. This shows clearly that the present system of education not indicating the source of alphabet and not providing the knowledge of the source of alphabet is completely baseless. Because we pick up the alphabet when it comes on the vocal level. A, B, C, D, and combinations of it, the words and the language and the whole thing will develop all kinds of learning. But the alphabet is picked up only on the vocal level. From where the thought starts, the source of thought is the source of alphabet, and unless the knowledge of the source of thought is provided, the whole field of education is baseless. And this is the reason why baseless education fails to provide fulfillment to life. No educated man today can stand up and say, I feel fulfilled. This is one angle of baseless education. Another drawback of this education is, now this is true of education in all parts of the world, not for one country or one country or one country. True for all over the world, basic ignorance about the fundamental of education prevailing, and that the world, any educated man can say with confidence, I feel fulfillment in life because I am an educated man from that university. No man knows how to bring fulfillment to his desires. Not even desires of any type, even in the field of learning. The situation is that more he knows that a greater field of the unknown lies ahead. This shows only the ignorance of the subject increases more than the knowledge. It's terrible to say like that, but that is the situation. Present education has only the ability of increasing the search for knowledge, but has not the ability to satisfy the search. Such a paralyzed system of education can only produce stress and strain and can only be inefficient to make a man stand on his feet fulfilled in life. Now, I am making another point about the baselessness of education, that the knowledge of the self is not provided. And without the knowledge of the self, the whole knowledge of any branch of learning is just hanging in the air. The student of physics, I am a student of physics, I am a student of chemistry. Fine. Who is the student of physics? This body, this mind, what? Who is the knower of knowledge? Without the nature of the self, the whole field of knowledge is completely baseless, open. It has no meaning. I see the flower. Is there any truth in this sentence, I see the flower? Who is the I? If I am ignorant, and the whole process of seeing in the flower, the whole thing is based on ignorance. It is on the intellectual level that we decide the principles, not on what we see. Many a times, the perception is deceptive, but what we decide intellectually, we all tend to be true. And if we decide intellectually that I am not wrong, then we decide intellectually that the whole process of being is just useless. It has no basis. It has no truth. our principles on what we understand intellectually, not on what we see. We don't base our knowledge about the sun on what we see, deciding in the east and traveling to the west. The sun never goes from east to west. When we know that without the knowledge of the self, the entire field of perception and action is just baseless. This is what makes the whole field of relative life completely hanging in the air. And the life hanging in the air without a basis must necessarily be in a state of non-fulfillment, must necessarily be in a state of suffering, chaos, confusion, no settlement anywhere. Therefore, the knowledge of the self is the basis of all that we live in the relative field of life. All these states of consciousness, waking, dreaming, sleeping, are based on that self-consciousness. When we gain self-consciousness, then these three relative states of consciousness, waking, dreaming, sleeping, get a foundation to themselves. Otherwise, the whole field of life is without a foundation, like a wall without the foundation, ready to collapse at any time, always at the mercy of the wind. So this relative field of life, waking, dreaming, states of consciousness, if not supported and supplemented by the knowledge of the pure consciousness, the whole structure of life is baseless. And therefore, it is wise for everyone to know oneself first. And now, with transcendental meditation, it has become easy for everyone to know himself. Know thyself from ages into the past. This has been heard, know thyself and know thyself and know thyself. But in the practical field of life today, know thyself has only remained some fanciful, ideological, abstract thinking. Because the modern man doesn't think in terms of himself. And when he does not think in terms of himself, he doesn't find his feet on the ground. Always in the air, always in the air. Too much of air. I'm experiencing that ever since I'm here. Always I'm in the air. I'm in so much with radio and television. But it is necessary to have our feet on the ground. Have our feet on the ground means we must be established in ourselves. And having been established in ourselves, everything is fine. Because everything else is in terms of ourselves. Otherwise, we become in terms of everything else. And when I am in terms of everything else, then I am just like a leaf going around in the wind, any direction, here and there and there. One has to establish oneself, and if one has to establish oneself, better find that leaf, find that self, and then by the time we find oneself, what we find is our existence is a long, unbounded, eternal bliss, infinite happiness, infinite energy, infinite intelligence. Look at the great possibility. We have that great reservoir of intelligence, energy, happiness, eternity of life, absolute stability of being. And since we are not living that way in a tragedy in our day-to-day life, what a lost life and living. consciousness will begin in continental meditation. In the beginning, the mind goes and comes out quickly as we dive in and in the same flow we come out. Grow in and come out, grow in and come out. As you diving in and out and in and out and in and out, what happens? The whole of the bottom begins to be lived when we come out of the surface. And this is we dive in and out. The bliss of the pure consciousness which the mind gains when the mind reaches the source of all, reaches the being. That comes out as here the nature of the mind. Then the mind goes and comes out and goes and comes out. Like the white cloth, it is yellow color. And this, once it is dipped, it comes out. Every dipping brings the color a little more and little more and little more and little more. What we do, if we know the art of coloring, then having dipped the cloth, we put it to the sun, allow it to fade away as much as it can fade away, and then put it back and put to the sun. That means we subject it to two contradictory processes, one of absorbing the color and the other of fading it out. Dip it and it absorbs the color. Put it to the sun and the color fades away. These two contrary processes together go to make the color fast. At one time, it never fades away, becomes fast. Like that, the mind goes deep within, it becomes pure consciousness. Just as the wave, it begins to sink on the water, sink on the water, and sink on the water, and comes on the flat, motionless surface of the ocean. The wave becomes the ocean. Absolute silence. Trace of the wave, it becomes the ocean. Another wave comes up. The ocean rises up in a wave. The wave gains an individuality. Then it sinks, it gains that the unboundedness of the ocean. Like that, the individual mind gets into the transcendent state of pure consciousness or being. It becomes being, unbounded, eternal, it becomes pure consciousness, it becomes complex consciousness, it becomes that nature of that field, this consciousness, stability, non-changing feature of being, all these qualities adhere to the nature of the mind. Some of it, the mind engages in the field of activity, and then quite a lot of that quality is gone, evaporates, and then comes back again and then gets saturated again, coming out of the same activity, back again. This back and forth, putting the mind to activity, putting the mind to meditation, to that state of pure consciousness, bringing it to activity again. 5 minutes in the bank and full day in the market, and again 5 minutes in the bank and full day in the market. Just this proportion. We don't meditate all time, no. We come out of meditation and put ourselves full-fledged in activity. Tremendous activity we undertake. And then in the evening we go back again, a few days in the evening. And then in 10, 12 hours of the night it's gone again. This is culturing the nervous system, subjecting the nervous system to retire from activity and complete rest in that restful alertness which produces pure being or pure consciousness, exposing the nervous system back to activity, giving these swings from activity to least activity. The nervous system gains that habit of quickly transferring itself to this waking state, quickly transferring itself to this pure consciousness. This quick transference of the physical structure gives the nervous system an ability where it continues to reflect pure consciousness at the time when it is reflecting waking state of consciousness. So both states of consciousness begin to be reflected simultaneously. One lives bliss consciousness permanently, whether one is waking or dreaming or sleeping. If in deep sleep one is wide awake inside the body and mind, everything takes complete rest, deep rest, body complete deep rest. completely awake. During activity, one is engaged in vigorous activity, has an unshakable stand of this consciousness. One begins to live these two states of consciousness simultaneously, waking and pure consciousness. And this is called cosmic consciousness. This state of cosmic consciousness has a corresponding state of nervous system, in which the nervous system does not lose pure consciousness, does not lose that restful alertness in bliss consciousness. Nervous system never loses that state of restful alertness, which reflects bliss consciousness, even though it is engaged in the field of activity in the waking state, even though it is engaged in the activity of the illusory experiences during dreaming state, even though it is engaged in the passivity of the deep sleep. In whatever state of relative consciousness the nervous system is exposed, it retains that absolute bliss consciousness. This state of life, where the nervous system is permanently established in restful alertness, reflecting bliss consciousness.
Hello?
Yo, Brian.
What's up?
Hey, just calling to wish you a happy Veterans Day and see how your day's going. How you doing?
Just waking up from a nap, so I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, cat naps in the afternoon in Georgia.
Tell you,
You have a lot of pine trees by your house?
that's all there is here in Georgia.
Yeah, what? That's crazy. I couldn't believe that when I was in Benning. I was like, man, what the fuck? I've never seen so many pine trees in my life.
Yeah, that's all we have around here. I mean, not all we have, but that's 90% of everything we have around here.
Huh. I wonder why that is.
It's the right climate.
Man, also, I never saw so many ants in my life.
That's true too.
Yeah, that was the big shocker. I was like, God, these motherfuckers fucking building empires out here. So,
Yeah,
anyways, but I got my account, my clubhouse account is clipped. It's over. I'm done. I'm not gonna create a new one. I'm finished.
what, the Diego one got clipped?
Yeah, Diego's dead.
They fucking, man, fuck those Diego people anyway. They kicked me out.
Yeah, it
Because
doesn't
I
matter.
wouldn't change my PTR to whoever the fuck that person was.
Oh, that was my account then.
Yeah, but you know how everybody had Diego, but if you went in a room and everybody was Diego?
Mm-hmm.
Whoever you have moderator in that room that was a female told me to change my PTR or she's going to kick me out. And I just stayed there and didn't say anything and she kicked me out.
She did. Oh, she must have thought you were somebody from their room or something.
Yeah, but you'd already just said hi to me.
Well, I didn't know she kicked you.
Yeah, kicked me out the room.
Hmm.
Fucking dyke bitch, whoever the fuck she was.
She might be. Who knows? She says she's gonna get married and be a housewife.
Doesn't mean she doesn't like lick pussy every once in a while.
Yeah, I agree. It's it's pervasive. Pussy licking is pervasive.
Not for me, I don't know a beer. Yeah, it's gonna be a good fucking day today.
Yeah, I'm like finishing my morning meditation. It's been transcendental.
Well, I mean, if you like having your teeth cleaned by a drag queen, that's fine.
That'd be crazy. Could you imagine if they had DEI in the dental industry?
I think it kind of is. Because what person would go through all of your med school just to become a dentist?
What? You go to dental school, you don't go to med school.
Bullshit. You don't know how to become a dentist?
Well, it's attached to a medical university, but I'm saying that it's not like a an MD. It's
You
totally
got. Yes, it is. A dentist is a fucking doctor, dumbass.
really.
Are you fucking stupid? Or are you just playing dumb on TV?
No, because I lived in Portland and they had like a dental medical school, which was not an
Yeah,
M.
to be like a fucking dental tech.
No, no, it was to be a dentist. So you're telling me you're an MD and then you specialize in dentistry?
You do your pre med. You do the first 2 years of your med school. So you're 6 years in, and then when you after the first 2 years of med school, the last 2 years of your med school flipped to dentistry.
Okay, yeah. Because I looked at that at University of Illinois Chicago, and yeah, I guess you're right. It's basically med school, but for dentists.
Yeah, well, I mean, but you have to complete all your prerequisites for pre med.
But so what is it called, the MSLE, or what is the name of the exams they take?
What, the MCAT?
Oh, the MCATs. But then what's the examination after you graduate? It's like a lawyer has to
What?
take the bar exam, but a doctor has to take the MSLE, or what's the exams they take? I can't remember.
Um, ACLFC, the Advanced Combat Life Care, blah, blah, blah. I don't know.
So you don't know. Ask ChatGPT.
Well, you have ChatGPT. Let me open my beer and roll me a cigarette so I can ask me dumbass shit.
Do you remember the first time in your life when you saw somebody actually roll a cigarette, then you said, "Hey, can you roll me one?" and they actually rolled you a cigarette? Do you remember
Yeah.
that?
Well, not the first time, but I mean, I've had it done.
No, you don't remember the first time, huh?
I think it was a joint, not a cigarette.
But you can't remember a first time somebody ever rolled you a real cigarette?
Dude, I started smoking cigarettes in 1981.
So, but you can't remember that one because. So, do you think you rolled your first cigarette, or do you think somebody, rolled one for you the first time?
No, it was a pre-rolled cigarette, like out of a pack.
I know, but do you remember when somebody actually had a package of tobacco?
No, nigger, I said I know.
Damn, Cosmo Kramer over here. Jesus Christ.
Hell, fuck you, Seinfeld. Fucking, you started to sound like George Costanza fucking sleeping under your desk. No, I don't remember, like, the first time I ever saw anybody roll a cigarette. I don't remember the first time, no. It wasn't that important.
Well,
I can remember the first time somebody rolled me a joint, though.
hmm.
I can only think of, like, a few people in my life that ever really rolled cigarettes like I do now.
So I got a question for you. Can you tell me an example of a situation when you were in Iraq, when you woke up and there was no anticipation of what was coming, and everything was just a surprise from start to finish? Did it last 24 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours? Like, when did it ever come to a resolution? So when was the beginning of the conflict, and when was the resolution of the conflict?
Um, that'd be March 25th, 2008. Slaughter City uprising happening, and then I left to go on R&R on like June 25th. So that'd been April, May, June. So 3 months later, it hadn't resolved yet. It resolved while I was home on R&R.
Did you ever see the movie Bridge Over the River Kwai?
Yeah, the guy from Luke Skywalker from like Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah, and the other guy's name is William Holden. You know who he is?
Yeah.
That movie is, I don't know.
That's one of the best movies I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it's a beautiful film. The color in it is just remarkable. Have you ever been to Hawaii?
No.
Man, I gotta tell you, instead of coming to Chicago, if somehow you can secure the funds, you should definitely take the time to go visit the island of Hawaii. The moment you walk off the plane, it's like, whoa, whoa.
If I'm going anywhere, I'm going to Costa Rica, not Hawaii.
Okay, I guess it's basically the same thing, but I'm just saying, I don't know. It's when you smell like air in like a place like that, it's like wow. I don't know. Everything is just so fresh, Chicago, all these. I mean, where I live, it's all just it's fucking bus fumes 24/7.
We don't have nothing like that around here.
Yeah,
It's right here around here all day.
yeah, I guess so. People get out of Chicago, or live here half the year. But man, I live on like a major street, and it's nothing but bus fumes all day long.
Yeah, I mean, my house is open right now. You can't even hear my neighbor's car. There are no cars. Like, it's just nothing. No ambulances, no cops, no fire trucks, no neighbors going. Like, you might hear a car go by like every 5 minutes or so. It's just quiet as fuck out here. And it's just as, there's no fumes or nothing. All you smell is the pine trees.
This was a crazy situation once when I was on Fort Benning. They gave us like a safety briefing about crossing the street, and so we had like a rear guard of the platoon. I'm in the rear guard of the platoon on the street going through the forest, basically to a training site, basically like a rifle range, and they safety briefed us, and like I heard like a loud pickup truck coming from the distance, and as soon as I heard it, I started screaming. I swear to God, I started screaming as loud as I could, and everybody looked at me and like panicked, and then out of nowhere, this fucking silver Ford pickup truck, like a really nice, refurbished, like pimped out, ride. Like Sergeant First Class was flying to the training site. He was late. Probably drunk or who the fuck knows what, you know what I'm saying? So everybody fucking booked it, And just in the right amount of time, just because I responded, based off of like the warning and everything, everybody fucking flew, to the ravines on the highway. And our first sergeant, this guy named like Guillermo or Guerrera, I think his name was Guerrera. He fucking had like a fucking shitstorm, and he jumped into his car and flew after this guy. It was like the craziest shit I'd ever seen. I was like, that shit is crazy. But yeah, that was crazy. It was a crazy moment. Everybody's fucking adrenaline just fucking went through the roof because everybody was like, fucking scared shitless because this guy almost killed everybody. And the craziest thing was he didn't even like, he actually flew through our platoon because he was like, he knew he fucked up. He thought he was going to get away or something. That was the craziest part. Like he didn't even stop, he was on a mission to get away. It was crazy.
Yeah, it'll keep you from being able to drive on post if they catch you doing shit like that.
Yeah, I don't even know. I mean, I assume he was part of the training, squad or whatever that was supposed to assist us at that training location, and he fucked up and he panicked and decided to just book it or something. I don't know. That was the only assumption I had, but I never heard anything else about it, so it was just a crazy moment. But I was like happy that I was able to like alert everybody, just in the nick of time.
I can't believe you're done with the clown house.
Yeah, I'm out, man. Just like Chris Cobbs. I have a recording of Chris Cobbs. Do you know who he was? He's just this fucking African guy, who's real cool guy. I heard him in this room, and like there were a lot of people in this room, like I don't know, hundreds, 700, maybe 600. He's like, "Yo, this is Chris Cobbs. I'm out," and then he just like booked it, and then he deleted the app. And I was like, wow. I was like, that was his exit. I recorded his exit. I'm the only person who recorded somebody's clubhouse exit.
Well, I'll let everybody know your condolences.
Yeah, tell them I'll miss them all, but my brain is so neurally networked that like it's impossible to escape me, but I've escaped them. So tell them farewell, God bless always, and you can always go to loveartjoy.com to see the YouTube live stream.
We're boy like Shaloi.
Boy, nice line.
See, that's about as loud as it gets. Here's my neighbor on his bike.
What a dirt bike?
No, that was a Harley. There's a bunch of bikers that live down dirt road. You'll get like 50 of them to go on down there on the weekend. They'll be partying like it's 1999.
Huh. Man, there's this nightclub near me called Stereo, and this old Italian guy named Pete runs it. And he had these people up on stilts with like LED light suits dancing to some DJ. And I was like, I can't believe this shit. I was like, this is fucking crazy. And all these Europeans are just fucking jumping up and down. I was like, this is the weirdest shit I've ever seen. And he told me he just had open heart surgery. And like I'm like, man, I'm like, you got a big heart, you got a lot of love. And he's like, thank you, thank you, thank you. He's like, but they fucking opened my chest, and I'm like, don't worry about it. He's still working. I'm like, people don't know how to stop working, man. That's what I can't believe. I'm just like, people can't give it up. I'm like, people really should learn how to do meditation, and just let other people manage. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah. You should check out a group called Rabbit in the Moon.
What, on YouTube?
Yeah, they're from the 90s. They're an old like techno like what do they call it, EDM, electric dance music. But they used to have like this guy that would come out in this pink bunny suit that looked like sadistic in the face. But the arms on this thing were like 10 feet long, each arms, and he'd get on stage and he'd go across the top of the crowd. And he'd have like these glow sticks on the end of his hands. And there'd be this trippy ass fucking music, and everybody do a bunch of drugs and trancing out to this fucking trippy ass fucking
Oh, I
music.
see it. This is crazy.
Yeah. But you were talking about when dudes on the stilts, it reminded me of that rabbit with those long arms.
Oh, this looks dope. This is really cool. This is hilarious, actually. Holy shit. This is hilarious.
You see the pink bunny suit?
It's called Rabbit in the Moon Live for Nocturnal Wonderland Virtual Rave-a-thon.
Yep.
September 19th, 2020. Yeah, this is dope. 2020, September 19th.
No, that dude, I saw them in concert back in like 2000.
Wow, it looks to me like they've been around for quite a while.
Yeah, that's the new shit, but I didn't even know they were still around. I was just talking about something that I remember from a show that 24 years ago.
Yeah, I'm sending this to everybody. It's fucking dope.
Yeah, but it's trance music. Like if you want to meditate, that's just meditation music. Well, unless they change their style.
Yeah, this is great music, man. Wow. You know, there's this guy. Have you ever seen a DJ and like wondered like, is he just playing CDs and pretending to like utilize his equipment?
Yes, I've seen that. I've seen people.
That's what I assume, right? It's just like
they're scratching and they're scratching out of the time. I'm like, they're not even like on that.
they're just playing
They're
with
just
their
pretending like they're scratching.
yeah. Cause there's this I've seen people do like DJ performances where I'm just like, bro, you're just playing shit and moving fucking shit up and down and
You're
scratching
turning a
shit.
knob side to side, up and down,
Yeah.
acting like you're spinning the thing, but you're spinning the side where you're faded away from it, so no sound's coming out.
I tried to buy a mixer and I also have a digital keyboard, but I don't know how to like how would you view like what they did in the 80s in terms of like scratching and creating music live with dual record players, you know? And then creating edits like real time and playing stuff like that because those are tracks which are mergers of tracks. So like I don't know. I mean, I don't have that equipment, but like I see that's how they basically were creating music live for their audience at like a venue or something, right?
Yeah, but you can like the people that are really good with like MIDI boards and shit.
Yeah.
You get like a.
It's a
I
performance,
want
man. It's a
Baby. Hey,
performance.
do you know who Baby Ann is?
No.
Look up Baby Ann and the Use Your Love song. And I watched her do that live from behind her shoulder while on stage. And she really did that live. And she could mix that down.
You said Baby Ann?
B-A-B-Y, and then A-N-N-E, Ann. And then the song is called Use Your Love.
It didn't show up. Let me see. Maybe this is it? No. No. Maybe this is it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's money. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but she really knew how to. She was a good DJ. I knew her personally. I mean, I knew her, but that was, again, that's back to 2000 again.
That's fucking dope, dude. Listen to this one. This is called Miami Power.
This is Addy, and he owns a YouTube channel that creates.
But first, an advertisement from somebody in Israel trying to sell me a business opportunity kit.
Oh,
The Surgeon General of Total New York has determined that the sounds you're about to hear can be devastating to your ear.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Better play something from you.
here comes the music, it makes me dance. Here comes the music, it's so
Yeah, this guy's YouTube channel is called Big Happy Omar. It's fucking dope.
Yeah, that's skating rink music for me.
Yeah, this
That's
is
what I
really
listen to
cool.
when I shuffle skate.
I think he uploaded all these from CDs that he owns because he like took photos of all the CDs on all the tracks. It's really cool.
Yeah, that's the shit from the early 90s right there. Yeah, there was a lot of good stuff back then. That's back when it was about music, not
Going
about
to
like
church
gangster
Sunday.
rap.
Okay? We send the prayer back to God where it originated.
And then he's got some playlist of like the Bible, so this guy's legit.
Yeah, he's right up your alley. Yeah, man. Sorry to hear about it, but also I know you're happy that you're off of Clubhouse.
Yeah, honestly, I guess it is. It's funny. It's like I'm playing a game not to just kick kicks from the rooms, but like actually kicked from the app. That's the bigger kick. So when they suspend you and it says you've been suspended. They first told me that I was only suspended till like November 17th, and then it said some other kind of message. So they must have reconsidered the original suspension, within a few minutes and been like, no, this guy's permanently suspended. So
I don't know. They suspended my other account.
yeah, I know.
My Doc Innovation account's been flipped for 3 weeks, and I still haven't gotten it back.
Well, I can never get it back because I only signed it up for the 30-day telephone number, so you have to log back in with the telephone number, and I don't have that telephone number anymore, so it's over. But I'm not going to create any new accounts. I'm basically going to stop, and then I think maybe sometime next year I might try to do some new stuff. But since the election's over, I feel like there's no real reason to try to use the app anymore because that was like the biggest component, I feel like, was the political aspect. So since the elections are over, it's like to continue using it for the short term is like detrimental, because they're just going to keep repeating themselves.
Yeah, the conversation definitely have gone flat since the election.
Yeah, it's true. That's kind of the thing is like in communication, there's hyperbolic communication. And it's like to try to. I don't think I can really capture anything new. That's the problem. It's like there's nothing really interesting. And plus, by capturing the stuff leading up to the election, that was all the juicy stuff. Everything after is just like the pity party.
Yeah, and then everything bitching about like, oh, we should have done this or this should have been that, and I'm like, bitch, please, nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah, I don't know. It's over, dude. Like, I'm just looking forward to like the next couple months. But did you hear Augustus got a job in the new administration?
Oh wow, I'm interested to see what that would be like.
From my lips to God's ears, Rabbeinu Shalom.
I didn't know they had a position in the White House as a fluffer.
He told me he was promoted to chief memer in the new Adrian Dittman, Elon Musk, memetic government cost agency of efficiency.
Doge?
Yeah, Doogie.
No, like the Dogecoin, like Elon.
I'm just being facetious. I mean, who knows? But like,
Well, DOG, Department of Government Efficiency, Doge.
oh yeah, that's right. I see what you're saying. I forgot about that. But Adrian Dittman has blocked me from everything. So like, when I create the new burner for my next Clubhouse account, I'm gonna definitely start just promoting Adrian Dittman again because like, I'm not gonna come back to Clubhouse. Like, I will come back and I'll have a burner account, but no one will ever detect it. It'll be so subtle, and I'll build it so subtly that it'll take many, many weeks maybe to like make it back to the people that deserve the most scorn. It'll just be like classical music or something, and no one will suspect it's me. It's a joke. Don't
No,
think it's funny.
it's cool. I would laugh, but I'm bleeding in blood.
Oh, good. Because people from Clubhouse are watching this right now on YouTube, and it's like I just want them to know that like I will capture you again. I'll put you back in a genie bottle.
Thank you, my precious.
My precious, I will capture you again and put you on my YouTube live stream. But really, Elon Musk is honestly so much more exciting to put on live stream than anybody else. So, can't compete with Elon. Hate to break it to you. Because, Trump's win is Elon's win. I mean, this is like the biggest financial, corporate, strategic, tactical move in American business history. Elon Musk has solidified himself amongst the ultra elite. And Peter Thiel. Like this is a huge coup d'état for certain businessmen in this country that supported the right candidate.
Mm. Yeah.
Or fuck Mark
I feel like
Cuban.
they tried to pull the coup d'etat with fucking, fucking Kamala.
Well, Mark Cuban, what has he got? He's got nothing, man. What a joke that guy is. Shark
Why does
Tank.
he look like Rachel Maddow?
Well, I mean, the Timberwolves are amazing, but like, what about his other businesses? Like, isn't he in like some kind of automated pharmacy business or something?
Timberwolves. I thought he was the owner of the Mavericks.
Oh, the Mavericks? Yeah, you're right. Who the fuck owns the Timberwolves?
I don't fucking know.
Well, he's got a lot of power, but nonetheless, I mean, everyone will have to bend the knee and submit. This is the peaceful transfer of power. You can organize, but you got to organize on your knees. Everybody does. This is like the whole Arthurian legend. I mean, that one clip from the 1980s Excalibur when the knight knights King Arthur so he can become king, and he says in the name of Saint Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, in the name of God I knight you, king of it, like that. Like that's technically kind of like it's a presidency, but it's a very hyper competitive thing because I don't know. Have you been following British politics at all?
Not if I can help it.
Um,
I don't find it very interesting.
I don't know. There's nothing interesting about it. I'm just saying that the political indecision has been determined. So, I mean, if there is some type of a conspiracy for assassination, I don't really believe it. But as soon as Trump won, Drudge Report goes hardcore about the war in Ukraine and Russia. Hardcore, saying that Putin has 50,000 troops ready to deploy. And so, what is Trump's response going to be? And what did Zelensky say when he was here recently?
We've already lost 500,000 fucking soldiers. What's 50,000 more?
So the point is, why does Drudge Report immediately, as soon as the election is resolved, why do they immediately go to the Ukrainian conflict?
Well, they need to start some kind of fucking media storm.
So I read in a maxim in this aphorism book, it said that, if you wake up every day and you look in the paper and there's not like a like a World War III event, it's not a good newspaper. So it's like they can't help themselves. You can always make a fake narrative no matter what. Like you just said, I said 50,000, you said that's nothing. They deployed 500,000. So
No, they've already lost 500,000. That's how many soldiers they've had killed since the beginning of the Ukraine war on the Russian side.
oh my gosh, isn't that crazy?
Half a million people have died on the Russian side.
It is insane. That is so many people. I mean, how many people died in Vietnam?
Like 25, 30?
No,
1,000?
it's like 70,000.
No, there's not that many names on the memorial.
Isn't it like 50, 60,000? Let me see.
We lost 10. We lost 10 in Iraq. I thought it was like 50 to 60 in Vietnam.
Yeah,
I think it was like 50,000. I thought it was really honestly like 35 to 50.
It says 58,220.
All right, so it was a little low.
Oh, wait, hold on. I don't know. It's like weird. It says died of wounds. No, these aren't. I don't know. Okay, so yeah, 58,000. The Army suffered the most, 38,000 casualties. But see, the casualties are not deaths. So what are the deaths? It says the combined death toll is 520,000 in the American Civil War.
Well, yeah, that's the Civil War. That's both sides.
So how the hell? So I guess my point, I was thinking about the Civil War. I mean, how unfathomable is that? Like, why did that really happen? I don't understand, like, why people actually believed that going to these other states to fight each other was like
Brother on
rational.
brother.
Yeah, so how did they justify it? Was it all just based off of like communication? It had to have been, right?
Well, like any other war, it's a bunch of young guys going and fighting other young guys that don't know each other because of old men that do know each other.
But the old men that knew each other, why did they think that like doing that was rational or worthwhile for the country? Like I don't understand. And
Because they're the fucking, the fucking Cheneys and all the Halliburtons and KBRs and part of the military industrial complex, and they have money that they're getting from the conflict.
well,
They're thinking it's a business venture for them.
on both sides or just the North?
Pretty much both north, both the old men from both sides.
Wasn't France supporting the South, the Confederacy?
Yeah,
So the French industrialists were sending weapons and equipment, everything else, I assume.
well, they weren't directly involved with the South at um, when it became an issue of slavery. Because it wasn't initially it wasn't a war about slavery. It just turned into one because it gave them justification for what they did. Because like the South was legally allowed to secede from the Union.
Yeah.
That was a legal secession when the USA came and invaded over there and what's the island in South Carolina?
Yeah,
Bunker,
Fort Sumter.
Sumter. I was saying Bunker, but yeah, Sumter. Yeah, but the North illegally invaded the South. They don't want to remember that.
Well, that's the thing. North invaded the South. Isn't it just a federalist government? Wasn't that the whole thing with the two federalist presidents? Oh no, no. I guess that was later. That was way before. That was way
That was
earlier.
way before. That's the Constitution.
Yeah.
That would be like 1780s.
So I mean, like 5 or 7 counties voted to secede from the state of Illinois, but it can only act. They can only secede if the General Assembly grants them secession, and then the federal government has to grant them secession to form their own state. But it's like 12 Republican counties in Southern Illinois. But they've been doing this for years, and basically it's just like to draw media attention to their cause.
Yeah, well, how many times have you heard Texas is going to secede from the United States?
Well, this is just one of those general ballot questions they put on there. I don't understand, what's the point, but they do it for their own election commission because their county has their own election commission, but it's not many people vote in it. But anyways, so my friend has this website here, and it's called Illinois Examiner or something like that, and he's posting all these articles about the Illinois GOP and just how ridiculous they are, and it's really good. Like it's like damning. Like he has photos of them like doing makeup and like just being ridiculously gay and stupid. So it's like he's really pissing people off. I told him, don't just be a part of the problem, be the problem. And man, he is like embarrassing people, and like they hate him. They hate him with a passion. They've banned him, and and my friend's a little crazy. He'll show up to events and like they will physically like manhandle him and throw him out. And it's just crazy. But like they hate him, and I'm talking about the leadership, and there's a bunch of them, and they hate him because like he embarrasses them. Anyways, he wants me to write this article because on our ballots there were no Republican judge candidates, and there were over 50 candidates for judgeships throughout Chicago, and they're all Democrats. You can't even pick a Republican option. So, and this is the land of Lincoln. So, anyways, I'm gonna write an article for him for his website today, and so it's on my to-do list. I gotta like export the photos and the videos of the ballots.
Yeah, upload it to ChatGPT and tell it to write it for you. Go back and proofread it, change a few things here and there, and make it your own.
It's not a bad idea.
Well, it'll knock out 90% of it, and you can just go back and proofread and change a few things.
All right, what are you doing the rest of the day?
I literally just woke up. I was sitting on the shitter when you called.
Do you smoke cigarettes on the shitter?
Hell yeah.
So what does your bathroom smell like? Is there like a cigarette stain up against the shitter wall?
No, I've just painted my bathroom like a month ago.
To cover up the stain from the cigarette smoke from the shitter wall?
No, because I just re-drywalled the whole bathroom.
To cover up the cigarette stain on the newly drywall painted wall? That's a joke, dude. Can't you take a joke anymore?
I would ask you the same question.
Of course I can. But my point is, my friend, who lived in my place, he would smoke in my bathroom, and I was like, bro, how you bastard, how can you smoke in my bathroom, dude? He's like, what do you mean? He's like, what do you mean your bathroom? I was like, dude, I cannot believe you fucking take shits and smoke cigarettes in the morning in the shitter. Like, God bless you, do what you got to do. But people do it, but I don't do that. I mean,
dude, back in the day, I used to keep all my. It was funny you brought up Maxim magazines. I used to have a subscription to that. I have a big stack of them on the back of the toilet. I'd sit in there and read my magazine, drink coffee, and fucking smoke cigarettes.
Oh man, that's funny. All right, well, so wait, what are you doing the rest of the day?
I'm probably gonna go figure out how to get some more beer.
What kind of beer are you gonna get?
Same as ever, Miller Lite.
Do you have a Miller High Life down there?
Yeah, we have Miller High Life, but I don't like it.
Well, what about the glass bottle?
No, I don't. I Miller MGD, like Miller Genuine Draft, Miller High Life. No, none of those.
I'm surprised. I've done, my research says that Miller High Life is actually one of the best beers
Champagne
out
of
there.
beers.
Yeah, it says since 1903. How is that not a solid fucking brand?
I don't like the flavor of it. It tastes like drinking a beer while sucking on a penny.
Interesting. You might be. Oh my God, you're fucking right. Are you saying it has a metallic taste to it?
Yeah.
Yeah. What the fuck? Maybe that's why I add the orange juice to it because I can't take the metallic taste. But isn't that what all beer is like? It has somewhat of a metallic taste.
Not Miller High Life.
Why do you say it has a copper taste to it then?
Because it tastes like you said, just a metallic taste.
Do you think it's because they brew it in some kind of like metallic kettle or something?
I don't know. It could be part of the fermentation process for all I know. I could be tasting the yeast. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question. It would be an interesting question to, because there's a brewery, there's two breweries right near my house, and one of them, they got this beer coming out called Krampus, and it's like that German Satan Santa Claus thing, and they store it in barrels or whatever. So I was in there yesterday, and I'm like, when is this coming out? And so it's coming out soon, but I don't know, man. There's so much sugar in that shit. It's unbelievable. It's like you taste like you're just drinking like sugar syrup.
Well, they didn't let it ferment long enough. Because the whole point of it is to let the yeast convert the sugar into alcohol.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. It's like a balance between, well, I don't want to say acidity, but I mean, I guess alcohol and sugar or like and flavor. Like, how do you create that perfect balance in whatever you're putting out, on the shelf?
Well, depending on the type of alcohol, I mean, you have wine masters, you have brew masters, you have all the people that are masters of, some kind of distillery.
Yeah.
Each one has its own little, niche.
The
difference between being an Italian cook over a Mexican cook.
I have noticed, and I've known there's these 2 or even 3 breweries that I know, and they are all tied into the occult. employees and all the symbolism in the facility. It's all tied into the occult. A lot of pentagrams, a lot of like Baphomets and Lucifer type, images on employees and tattoos and images in the everywhere. It's like there must be something tied into people who like want to get into brewing. I view it as kind of like you got to have the money to do it. It's a very risky business to create, like almost impossible, but the food aspect of it. Anyways, it's, these breweries, I've been to a lot of these breweries and it's a big business, but like the margins are really slim. It's like a fucking labor of love and you're doing a service for your community, but you're not making, I don't think you're really making any money. Like you're fucking barely probably making a living. And even then, your tax compliance is probably shit. So it's like, you can't even pay taxes because you're probably not even making enough money.
How
So,
much is your licensure to be able to manufacture and sell alcohol? Imagine what the regulations are on something like that.
yeah, federal, state, local, it's crazy.
I bet you'd be a pain in the rebel dick.
Well, yeah, they're
You know,
shutting down.
you'd have to be registered with the ATF and all that kind of shit.
They're shutting down this Rebel brewery downtown Chicago, which is like a big local brewery. It's shutting down. They're going out of business.
Man, that's some really good weed.
I've been smoking some great weed recently. It's been really good. It's if it's like light and crispy, versus like dark and dense. You know I feel like sativa versus indica. Indica is like poppy, and sativa is like the darker, more dense, maybe more metallic. Flower bud.
Mm, uh, I wouldn't go that far. Like I could line up, two buds side by side, and you wouldn't be able to tell which one is an indica and sativa. Actually, you wouldn't be able to tell which one's different than the other, and you would smoke them. And other than the feeling that you would get off them, you wouldn't know a difference except for the feeling.
Yeah, I've often thought the same thing that after you ingest it, like the debate or any kind of it doesn't make a difference. It's because the chemicals technically the same. It's like every time you have a Coca Cola, it tastes like a Coca Cola because the way they make it is identical every time. And essentially, cannabis, no matter how you make it, if you know chemistry, the tetrahydrocannabinoid delta 9 is still the same molecule, and that's technically what your brain is passing through the neurons, the dendrites, the axons, etc., through your brain. So it's like all these labels, and this is why I always laugh.
Axons and the dendrites. He's talking about synaptic clefts over here.
Right. So when you go into a dispensary and you see, their menu and they have 300 different types of flowers, and sometimes they even display them and they have all the different names. When I moved to Los Angeles and I saw that, I started laughing. I was like, you guys just make up the names when the product comes in. They're like, yeah,
Oh yeah, they do.
yeah.
But I mean, but there's certain strains that you can't like change. Like
No,
Acapulco
no, you're
Gold is
right.
always going to be
I know.
Acapulco Gold. OG Kush is always going to be OG Kush. Northern Lights is always going to be Northern Lights.
I get it, but well, yeah, you're right, I guess. If that's the thing is there's like a legacy consumer market for certain names which are essentially associated with indica, I think, or associated with sativa. So whenever the product comes in, if it's associated with whichever one, like what you're saying, like what is Acapulco Gold? Is that usually a sativa or an indica?
Sativa.
Okay, so I mean, don't you think if you had 10 pounds of sativa, you could call it Acapulco Gold, and everybody like, man, this is some great
Yeah.
Acapulco
Not,
Gold.
not if not if somebody that knows what Acapulco Gold is.
But when you
They'll
do
look
it,
at me and tell me I'm full of shit, and I'll be like, oh yeah, I am. Because if you gave it to me, I'd know if it was or wasn't. Like if you told me, here's 3 buds, Acapulco Gold, Northern Lights, and OG Kush, put them in order. I'd be able to put them in order.
I know, but from the sales perspective, once you buy it and you're out the door, I mean, are you gonna go back?
Well, indica is couch. Like if you had a broken leg or like you're going through chemo or something and you're having to sit somewhere and not do a lot of anything, I'd probably push you towards an indica. But if you had like, you know, your back was hurting a little bit, but you wanted to, you know, still drive your tractor and go do work, I would tell you to get a sativa because it's not going to be a body high, it's going to be a head high. And it'll stop you from thinking about the pain, but it's not going to stop you from working. I mean, I can get you some good indica. You'd be so high, you'd be sitting on the couch trying to figure out, like, you know, is that lint or from the belly button or your
So
couch?
my hypothesis is, or really, I guess my taste preferences is always indica, meaning that when I do sativa, that's like drinking a Guinness versus drinking a Miller High Life. It's just too dense and too thick and too much. That like I just get the feeling that the indica is the superior product. And believe it or not, I think I've read that the indica is the female version and the sativa
They're
is the
all
male
female.
version.
They're all female.
So
You don't
why?
smoke a male. You don't smoke a male plant.
Well, what
You
then?
don't
What?
want a male plant around your female
Then
plants
what?
because they'll cross hibernate.
Okay, so then two questions. What is like the esoteric correlation, and then what is the literal correlation between indica and sativa?
One is a body high and one is a head high. That is it.
Okay, so body and mind. So what if you mix and match? Then that's the superior
Then
way.
you end up with what they call a hybrid.
Well, yeah, I see what you're saying, but the well, okay, so then yeah, I guess the hybrid. But then, well, again, still, I want to say that the indica hybrid is the superior product.
Well, if it's an indica hybrid, it's an indica and sativa. It's a hybrid of both.
Right. Do you think that the hybrid is the superior product for ingestion?
It's a good middle of the road.
Right. Is the middle of the road the best way, though? I mean, that's the philosophy behind it, behind the chemistry. But I gotta say, I just think indica is a lighter product to smoke. It's like easier on the body.
Well,
Sativa seems to me to
let's
be
put it
heavy
this
and
way:
metallic.
if you and I were going to smoke and we were going to go race a sailboat, I'd want to be smoking a sativa. If we were going out on a sailboat and we were going to anchor off and just bob around and listen to music and drink margaritas, I would smoke an indica.
Okay, so whether you smoke cigarettes or you smoke cannabis, do you know what the body's main response is to ingesting smoke?
Coughing?
No, it's actually blood pressure.
Huh?
Yeah, if you do a blood pressure test and then you smoke a cigarette, and then 2 minutes later you do a blood pressure test, your blood pressure goes way up when you smoke.
Yeah, but it's not the same thing with pot.
It is. Blood pressure is also dramatically increased. I've read articles on it. You can Google this.
Well, the thing about like smoking cigarettes, nicotine is a vasoconstrictor. If you smoke marijuana is a vasodilator. That's why your eyes get bloodshot red because it dilates all the blood vessels. So it actually causes your blood pressure to drop because your blood vessels are getting bigger. So the volume level is much more. So your blood pressure drops. There might be an immediate spike, at the beginning, but when the bud starts to hit you, yeah, your blood pressure is going to drop. Because nicotine, like I said, one's a constrictor and one's a dilator.
So you saw this chick mix this live?
Yeah, I'm friends with her.
These are the comments. Remember the club jumping as soon as the guitar starts. The early 2000s rave scene was legendary. So many comments from Florida. Orlando clubs played the fuck out of the song. Still remember when I heard this on 95.3 Party back in 1999 here in Florida. Brings back so many memories. South Florida, Fort Lauderdale, 1994. Great to hear this and read the comments. Glad I'm not the only one. I don't know. It's kind of annoying with the fucking cat scratch.
Yeah, but you gotta imagine it on a big stereo in a club where everybody's drinking and fucked up. Dude, the dance floor would go crazy with that song. But you gotta remember, I grew up in that whole, breakdancing era. I used to think I knew how to breakdance back in like '85 when I was 10. But, yeah, man. Well, I'm gonna fucking get up here. I think I'm gonna take me a shower. I'm fucking still trying to sleep, so I need to wake up.
Okay, have a great day and happy Veterans Day, soldier. Huh!
Yeah, likewise. Yeah. Yeah, I'll talk to you later, man.
Okay,
Yeah,
take
sorry
care.
about your cow.
Oh, they freed me. They freed me. Okay, God bless. Take care. Bye. Okay, that's my show. Hope you enjoyed it.